All right, let's begin and let's do prayer. And Freddie, you want to say the prayer?
I can't. Dear God, that's over all our lives. Look over this organization, the Aldermen here at Water Valley, and guide us through the night and make us make decisions that's best for the city. And for all those that have loved ones that passed away, we just want you to look over it and guide them and help them through it. Amen.
Amen. Let's say the pledge to our flag.
Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, I want to say that this has been a big day for Water Valley, and I was just very pleased with the news from Solero about the 85 new jobs, in Water Valley, and $30 million investment that they're doing, and we're investing in them. The transformer will be shipped on January 10th, and hopefully we'll be getting it in pretty quick thereafter. So, and Daniel can update you on some things that he's worked on there. But I'm really pleased, and I know we all are supporting, our industry. All right, is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Alderman Hart, second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, let us open the sanitation truck bids. Glad we got four.
Yes, we have two. This first one is going to be from Sansom Equipment.
They want to make sure it's thoroughly right.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's good things. Everybody got the lights up pretty well? Yeah. Big on that.
You want to read this, Mayor, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
Okay. Sansom Equipment Company is offering the following that is included in the bid: 2025 Freightliner M2 106 chassis with 5-year engine, after treatment and towing coverage, as well as a buyback trade-in option with 5-year lease purchase financing. Sale price $219,000. The 5-year buyback option is $75,000.
Okay. Next. How many we got? Two?
Yes, sir. I apologize, I'm getting through all the specs.
take these under advisement, Mike, wouldn't you think?
Yes, sir.
To check them out. We gotta find the price first, don't we?
I'm looking, I'm sorry.
That looks like, I think that was submitted by a lawyer, wasn't it? Yeah, got a lot of, on the one hand.
Just has
No,
a-
just joking. Just trying to be thorough, I'm sure.
I'm still looking, I'm sorry. Daniel, go ahead.
Well, it's in there, I'm sure. Mike. You know, I've seen people do a wonderful bid and they, like a construction, they just fail to include the bond, so it was void.
Well, this one is from Hallmark Corporation, but
Okay.
I haven't seen a price. Have you?
Specifications of the truck.
Yeah.
Pass it down here. I saw that red thing. It looked like that was probably, it looked like it had some figures on it. Yeah, look at the bill of the index. Maybe
Oh. Well, you
it
know,
might have something.
somewhere.
The red letter. Might have a
Oh,
funny
you're talking
figure on
about,
it.
that's just a picture.
No, I thought,
Pictures of the vehicle.
I saw the. Let's see.
It's got a note on here that it was gonna be open for reverse auction. What company was this again?
Hallmark
Is
Corporation.
there anybody here from Hallmark Corporation?
Yes, sir.
I believe that gentleman's probably wanting to make a bid.
Start is there a bid,
Do you know whether that has a bid?
Include a bid
included?
with it?
He said it does not. We're looking for something that is not in there.
But then now we won't find it hardly then.
That's exactly right. Thank you kindly.
All right. So, we can take them under advisement and arrange for it.
Well, we have to,
Reverse.
it's the reverse auction, and so we have a quote here for Sanson. Sales price of $219 and a 5-year buyback option of $75,000. We've got Mr. What's your name, sir?
Showers?
Mr. Showles.
SHOWS?
Yes, sir.
You
Okay,
from Joe?
Manuel
From-
Showles.
So-so?
Bobby, what are you to Bobby?
I don't think we're related. I don't think.
All right.
And do you have a bid, sir?
I do.
What's your bid?
210.
Is it a buyback provision?
If you need one, I can provide you one.
Well, at least the 210 will get us moving.
Okay.
Is anybody here from Sanson?
Did you want to see it?
Not right this minute. Not tonight, I mean, I
I
might.
can scan it.
Mayor, I don't think we've ever done a buyback over the years in the previous advertising for a truck that's up there. We just bid.
It's something that you can include and, you know, it's not a requisite that you,
If it wasn't in our bid, then it's not really relevant.
if you ask for it and it's an option. It's something you can use to evaluate, but your question is.
I make a motion that we take these bids under advisement. Let the sanitation guy go through the spec.
There's a motion, there's a second, and we'll, you know, reverse auction will also include, we'll give the parties notice and whatever method whatever we need to do to comply with our statute.
Right.
We'll do. And we need to get make sure that we get the contact information so that we can participate. All right, there's a
business card.
there's a motion, there's a second. Any discussion? All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. All right. Next, we have item number 4, approval of the minutes. The minutes have been distributed. Is there a motion that the minutes stand approved as stated? Motion, is there a second? A motion and second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next, on item number 5, there is a motion. There's no motion, but the item is approved monthly bills. Is there a motion that the monthly bills stand approved? Motion. Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor will say aye. All opposed. Next, we're going to have the Main Street report.
Good evening, everyone. Not a lot to report, but we are in the end stages of allocating our ARPA funds, which we are trying to get done by the end of the year. So we finally completed the bid process and hope to be signing a contract for the major part of the work by the end of this week, and then we will figure out how we're going to allocate whatever's left over once we see that contract amount. Hopefully next month I'll be able to give you specifics on what the actual plans are. We're waiting to see exactly what happens with this bid because I didn't get to see the result of that yet. We have a few businesses that will be participating in the cookie stroll that will coincide with the Chamber's Christmas in the Valley this Friday night. So be sure to visit all of the Main Street businesses. Many of them will have cookies set out for the public, and we're excited to participate in that and to see what all happens with Christmas in the Valley. And wish you all happy holidays. That's all I
Right,
have,
so
unless you have any questions of me.
We have, Charlie Dyer has been working
Yes.
on that, and Michael, I think, on some of the sidewalk projects, and so I know
Right,
they're gonna-
Charlie has
they're
been in
gonna-
charge of all of
and-
the bid
and
process.
Things seem to be working, and, I know there's gonna be a joint effort, and Michael, I think, will be solidly
Yeah, him and I
supported.
gotta get together.
And, two can pull strong more than one. So, and that's a good thing.
Looking forward to seeing the actual progress. I know everybody else is too. They're tired
Well,
of hearing us talk about it and they want to see it in action.
Well, with y'all's good effort, I think a lot of things are gonna work real good.
I hope so.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good
All right.
Christmas.
Next, the Planning Commission report.
I don't think there was.
All right. Next, the Historic Preservation Committee report. Is there no report? No report. All right. Next, we've got the auditorium contract with Brandon Hooks Construction. This would be acknowledgement of that contract, and we do have that. And we had the pleasure of talking with Mr. Hooks today. He called, and I put him on with Michael, and he's anxious to get started. And so, he wanted, naturally he's gonna have a key, and Michael is gonna, Michael's already got that made, and his construction manager is gonna be up here tomorrow. He said he was gonna take a vacation first time this year and take his 11 and 10-year-old boys to Disney World, and then he'll be back. And he said they want to start in earnest. So we will, and I told him we wanted it speedily done. And now, the contract gives, because 180 days from the entrance therein, but that doesn't mean it has to take 180 days. And so we've got, if things work, we've got a good deal of money, or some money left, and can do some more things that need to be done to the civic center. So is there a motion that we acknowledge the contract with Brandon Hooks Construction? There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Next, no, thank you. Next, we have a receipt or acknowledgement of the 3 acres of land that the city has, the Board of Supervisors was kind enough to convey to the city, and on what they paid 10 years ago for it, and so.
Right, so we've got the warranty deed from the county to the city that's been recorded.
Right.
And we've got the promissory note from the city to the county for the $30,000.
With
which
no
is free,
interest.
With no interest.
All right, is there a motion to approve that? Motion, is there a second? All in favor will say aye. Aye. That's done. All right, now next, we have street striping quotes. So,
We have two. One was from J.C. Cheek Contractors for $48,000. The other is from Riverside Traffic Systems. This one didn't have the total on it. I think the work would be contingent on if they're in the area, then it's not gonna cost as much, but if they have to make a special trip
how much do
to
they?
set up, it'll be $6,000 added to the 14,100.
So you got one bid for 40,
48,000.
and you got the other one for,
14,100, possibly adding 6,000 to it.
That doesn't make any sense.
well, now that, well, I've seen, y'all wanna take these under advisement and our street man evaluate. Now, I'll tell you what, sometimes good things happen. Good news happens, so let's evaluate it and see, and you wanna get the most.
I'm gonna want that 148,000, I don't know.
How much?
42.
Somebody-
Yeah, that's a little, well, I mean,
We're not losing like 3 miles always.
yeah, that's, at 3 miles, that's a, well, I'm not gonna comment on it. You review it and report back to us. But, money, as you know the money, and it's limited.
He's got it listed here, 3 miles. From
Yeah.
that, 3 miles. from
Well,
that.
he's got that, but, all right, is there a motion that,
There's one thermal paint and there's one just regular paint.
Yeah.
The one
Well,
thermal paint,
we'll,
because it lasts longer.
is there a motion that these bids be taken under advisement?
We'll go with that.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor will say aye. All right, next, next we have, on the Boyd and Askew Street situation, where we've had a lot of people being interested in this situation. We've got, now, as I understand it, there were interests, some in the speed signs being placed, and then perhaps speed restriction devices are being placed.
Can we also talk about the signs for small children?
Well, that
Also.
too. All right. Did you, Nicole, you were interested in this, and I think others were too, about the sign situation. Did you have some come forward and on that idea? Do you have a?
Well, as far as the signs,
Well,
still
what about the miles? What speed limit would you have on it?
15 miles per hour.
Okay, and from when to where on that road?
Well, both on Boyd and Askew, in between Askew going towards the curve on the Fayette,
Okay.
and then Boyd coming from, I'm sorry, from like the curve, coming from Palestine
Okay,
out in the county,
right.
coming into,
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of, you got some elderly
Right.
people and you got a lot of kids around there.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
So,
You already have 10 mile an hour speed sign in that area. or 10 miles.
There need to be
Right.
speed signs
On
that
that
would
end.
be lawful, you know, and enforceable.
Signs are ordered.
I'm just saying, if I'm understanding, she's doing, that'll be Boyd, the complete Boyd Street at 15, from Jones to the city limits,
From joint, right, going straight down.
and then add, and all of Askew.
Right.
Okay.
What's your,
I was just, but, the way she, I was just making sure I had my streets, the
Okay.
way she.
Right.
all right, well,
Where are they? From Jones Street up to,
Jones to the city
up
limits.
to Askew and then across to,
Jones to the city,
Central.
yeah, Jones to the city limits and Askew to Lafayette,
all right, well, is there,
all of Askew.
well, I don't know, you know.
And the speed limit, Michael, the speed limit that's coming down, that's 10 miles per hour, that one is right there at the curve.
that's at the curve. It's 20
Right.
It's 20 back up here, I think by Terry Allen's house.
Right.
And then it dropped down to 10.
Well, 10 and 20, that's hard to, but this would put it at,
Well,
would
we-
standardize it.
I guess that is curved. No?
Yeah.
Chief, didn't we just say we could order
They
15
need to slow,
miles?
Well,
because
they-
slower at the
yeah,
curve,
Yellows are
coming up to the
ideas.
curve.
Yellows are ideas.
Okay.
All right, well,
You're right on flow.
now this is a motion, is there a second to the motion?
So you can't let them-
And then we agreed.
So 15 miles per hour for Boyd and Askew.
All right, now
Period.
that's the motion, is there a second, is there a second to the motion?
But
That's how-
All right, well, there's a second to it, is there discussion on the motion?
I think what the police chief was wanting to know, are these gonna be white signs or yellow signs?
There would be white with black letters, except for the children that play, there'll be a yellow, black on yellow.
Is that suitable with you, Chief?
Yes, I think if I'm not mistaken, the 10 he's referring to is one of the yellow in a curve warning signs. It's got a yellow background.
Right.
Those are suggestions, not enforceable limits.
Yeah, well,
So,
well, this
the
would
white
be-
traditional
The white
speed
You
limit
would be,
signs.
you would be, if you put this up, it would be legally enforceable.
Correct. Yes.
If
That's just, I
that's,
want
if
to make sure
that's
that.
y'all's judgment,
Right,
okay? All right, any further discussion on this, on this? All right, I'll call for a vote on it. All in favor, say aye.
right.
All opposed? I'm gonna rule that it passes.
It needs clean.
Now, part of this, agenda, you've got a speed bump. Now, this deals with the signs and the signs and the speed limit. Now, the speed bump, that is not, that question is not addressed by the motion that was adopted. Is there a desire to address the speed bump idea?
Try the signs first and see.
You want to try the signs
Try the
first?
signs, right.
Okay. Well,
Start with the
it's y'all,
signs
you know,
first. And I
okay.
thought we were doing further discussion.
At further
with
discussion.
Michael and Chief.
Okay, well, that's
About
right.
speed
Let
bump.
them, well, okay. So I take it that what will, as to the speed bumps, that idea should, it's desired that, the department heads get together and work on that idea and maybe try to come with, ideas that would be compatible, and might help the situation. Does that sound
Yeah.
reasonable to everyone? Okay?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
One
that-
thing, when you start putting these speed bumps, they're gonna have to be put all over town. Everything, one street's just started.
Yeah,
next thing we
well,
know-
I mean, now, yeah, there is, I'll say this, you know, when I see the Nearys come, and I see, you know, and well, I shouldn't mention that, but when I see people that I know, you know, that are elderly, and they, you know, the mailbox is on
Right.
one side of the street, and they're on the other, and we can't, and, you know, that's a different level than
Yeah.
we are, and we ask that it be changed, but, you know, that's one, we do a lot, but that's one thing, you know,
We've got
that
three
the
more
post,
streets.
postal commission, it's not the United States senators that can move them. It's, But anyway, maybe they'll put it in a
Got
supplement.
about 3 more streets that folks wanting speed bumps on.
I understand,
Like I said, so-
and Chief, I think, can work on this issue, and try to address those concerns of those people, because they do have some valid concerns, and, you know. So, all right. Next, so that's, everybody, that's gonna be addressed and looked at.
So we tabled it.
It was tabled for further consideration. It wasn't denied, it was just tabled for further study and consideration by the department heads.
Signs were approved.
Signs and the speed limit was approved.
So was there a motion to table?
No, there was not. I just,
make that motion.
it wasn't acted on, so you can say table whatever you want.
All right.
That it be tabled, we can do it table for further consideration. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Now, when the board of supervisors, we don't do it. We just pick it up next time if they want to. Next, we've got the Christmas dinner at December 9th at noon. So, what about that? That sounds like a mighty good idea. So that'd be a good thing, and we need.
Always good.
Well, I'll tell you, it is a good thing to remember everybody that really makes all the people out there that really make the services possible for the people, and we appreciate all of them. Now, go ahead. We got other, now we have been busy as bees on these signing, and doing. We're moving things forward. You know, I told you about the transformers January 10th, and hopefully they'll be here shortly thereafter. We're getting necessary documentation to proceed, and the hospital part is, Michael, that's practically finished, the pad for that.
We're waiting on the electrical department connectors to finish the connection down there, that we can finish the parking lot of that.
But
Pad
that
ready
is,
for number
that
one.
is on its way, but, you know, we've got to have both, we really need both of them, because if we don't, if they unloaded it and you didn't have it cured for 10 days, then you gotta pay somebody, you gotta put them somewhere and then pay somebody about $5,000 to $10,000 to reset them, and that's just, that's just money that we wouldn't get a return on, you know, and we want Solero being $30 million and 85 jobs, and let me tell you, there is a better thing. You know, the North Carolina facility that's, well, the lines are being transferred and things are being, and people, some of those people might be coming here, and we need to welcome them, you know, those people, and I believe they're gonna give them opportunities, hopefully, you know, as many as they can and will, and we certainly want to welcome them. You know, this is a welcoming community, and those are good working people, and if any of them choose to be with us, I think we want to reach out our hands to them and hearts to them, and just sort of be a welcome wagon for them. So
Part of our continuing efforts to grow and be sustainable with our electric department, of course, includes the solar power
Right.
program that we're trying to implement with Renuvia. As such, we had a solar power purchase agreement that we implemented in May. Then we had subsequent approval in August of the lease agreement. So we have a fully executed solar power purchase agreement. I'm not sure whether it was ever entered into, so I'd like to, if it approves with the board, have this introduced into our minutes, which is the entire solar power purchase agreement with Renuvia entered into.
and the signature is ratified.
Right.
The So,
And then in this one, this is the interconnection metering and parallel agreement. As part of the power purchase agreement, they agreed to pay for the necessary upgrades that were going to be required for our system, which will
is
also.
a good deal of money,
It's $173,000.
and we're not gonna have to pay for it.
And that's also going to be able to, with the improvements there, of course, it's going to be more attractive to future industrial development in that area. Lastly, we have the lease agreement, which has not been executed on the back end yet by Renuvia. However, it has been executed by the mayor as it is part of the purchase agreement. It was inclusive of that, but again, now that we have it in writing, another aspect of it is that Allied Group, who has a lease for that building there and a set meter meets and bounds description, they have agreed via email to the fact that they don't mind having an egress and egress come across them.
Absolutely.
Once we finish this, I'm going to then send something to Allied stating that that basically they're going to subordinate an easement to this lease agreement. However, if they don't, I kind of protected both sides of the field here. I put that they said in regards to easement number 1, the tenant, which is Renuvia, is aware that the easement is subordinate to the lease of landlord to Allied. So they're aware of its
Sure.
existence. But I would like, if it meets y'all's approval, to introduce these into the minutes and ratify them.
So moved.
Motion and second. All in favor will say aye. All opposed. I'm going to rule that is passed. All right, Daniel?
Now, does that
That takes care
Yes,
of,
sir.
well, that, I tell you, I've been on the phone to him about 2 to 3 times a day, so he's about tired of it. And vice versa, so, but
I
I'm
believe
sure
I believe you texted me at 9:50 on a Saturday night about it.
I did, because it came to my mind, and I
And it's
wanted-
important.
Well, it was important, and it worked out.
That's right, that's right.
So it's been things have worked out. Now, there's some good weeks, and then life has some weeks that throw you a curve, but this is, so far, been good.
Tommy, once those transformers get here, how long will it take before they're,
Take 10, well, they're gonna ship them, the 10th of January, they say. Now, it'll take several days, probably. It'll take a little while to get here. And then installing, I imagine they'll be installed probably by about the 17th, 18th, something like that. Now, those transformers like that, we hope they're not used very often, because that is if there's a catastrophic power, and then we won't have the 4-day outage. Now, when the GRIP grant, God willing, that goes through, well, it's been approved, but let's say that goes through, then we can get the substation fixed, and maybe a new substation too, we hope. And then you can have get away from single point connectivity, so that when the lights go out in a particular, so they go out at my house, they won't be going out all over, that section of town. So that would help us there. And now they are working on, I sound like an electric department up there, but they're working on 3-phase. They're going to check out, the 3-phase that we have that haven't been installed. We've got about 27 of them. And they're going to check those out. Maybe we'll get TVA in and others to check them out. And if we can get those and get those up, that would do a lot of good. That would do a lot of good there. So nothing's free though, but there's some, I guess we got to do everything we can do and hope for that, but it now, we'll see. But hopefully things are moving. And that doesn't mean everything's not going to be easy for a while. you know, it's gonna take a long time, but gotta start. So we're doing that. Y'all are doing it, and we work. Michael?
So we have the clearance on the Terrell Road now to get that site ready?
Negative.
Okay.
No.
Well,
We're close.
it's this close.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, well, Daniel,
That's fine.
if we say yes on something, you know, I think we're one letter away, and we're gonna do that.
Yes, sir.
If we get,
It'll be there in the morning.
the reason why I was gonna ask you was the weather didn't like the edge, the ground's gonna be a mess.
You're right.
If we come to where we get, and we gotta get these sites, the pad built,
You do.
I would like to see if I needed to get Willis to come up here and choose where the pads are gonna be. If we have to raise the pad a little bit more to get it and get the pad set, we can do the dirt work around it if it gets to a point where the pad needs to be
No.
poured.
And the pad's gotta be, it's gotta have all that electrical
It's got-
grounding.
Well, so you got to pour the pad before you even do the
Pad,
ground.
and let me tell you.
We've already got that.
It's gonna take 15 days to cure.
It's got to cure, that's what I'm saying, so we need to get in there and dig and get the pad poured.
He's gonna get something to him, and I think things are fixing to G-Haul where you can get in there.
But that ground fixing to be rotten down there, you're not gonna be able to do anything.
They've been pumping the brakes because they've been doing this new financing
Well,
project.
there was they have, it's just amazing what they've got in mind, you know, all over. And so, you know,
Well, we're ready to go, we got all the rebar stuff all formed, all built. But we have to dig a hole and get the concrete poured so that it'll be set for when the transformers get here. That's the only thing we'll be able to do right off.
Let's make sure Atwell
I'm
Gents.
just bringing that up.
do what there.
Make sure Atwell Gents in the middle of all this.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you know, Jeff Atwell will be totally involved. He's, you know, he's the electrical engineer.
Right.
And he's sharp as a tack.
We're setting on go, everything's setting, so whenever y'all tell
Well,
us.
I think it's just all good. So, all right, folks, now there's a request for executive session in regard to personnel of the water department. Is there a motion that we have a closed determination on the issue of going into executive session on personnel of the water department? All right, there's a motion and right and the exact time. Is there a second? There's a second, and we'll vote on the closed determination on the issue of personnel of the water department. All in favor will say aye. I'm gonna rule that all voted aye. Next, is there a motion that we go into executive session on the issue of personnel of the water department? About, and it's stated here, Brandon and Bailey. There's a motion and second, and you got these time, it's a little bit after that. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, all voted aye, and so we're in executive session right now.
You may have heard of us, but you might not know Bank First is a community bank that has no-fee ATM access, interest, and perks earning checking accounts, with online and mobile banking, mortgages for every stage of life, and modern business banking for businesses, small and big. We keep it all together to put you first. Do you bank with us? You should.